Hello everyone, LMPF on Racer here, back for another video, and we are back on Forza Motorsport 6 for a bit of a discussion video. I was previously planning to do a review of the Mobile 1 car pack, but as it turns out, I'm not prepared for that kind of stuff when I try to do it in a live commentary kind of way. And until I can find another way to do that, that video is on hold or possibly gone forever. So instead, I wanted to do a little bit of a Forza discussion. I was talking to a friend about this last night, or about Forza. Been through 6 Motorsport games, 2 Horizon games, and both have gone slightly different ways in their progression. There we go, that's the right word. Granted, Horizon has only had 2 games, and the Motorsport ones have had 6, so there's different ways, so they couldn't have gone different ways, but obviously had the original Forza Motorsport on the original Xbox. It's a first starting. It's never going to be perfect. Then you had Forza 2. I didn't play that, but I'm guessing it was some kind of an improvement. Then you had Forza 3. I actually quite enjoyed playing that game. The graphics were good. There was the car selection was quite nice. The AI could be competitive at sometimes. And I think just generally the whole feel of the game was actually quite nice. That everything was a bit kind of real life, kind of a bit. Specifically for contact-wise, I think everything felt a little bit realistic in the way that if you tapped the car, they really did spin around properly. And it was a big improvement on 2. Then you had 4. It was easily the best one in the series so far, because it just had so many things. You had so many game modes. You had so many things you could alter to make things fairer. You had just things where you could make things ridiculous, like taking away most of the grip for all the cars. Obviously, you probably know actually Forza 4. A lot of you may have played it, but you know that Forza 4 is most likely one of the best in the series. It is just fantastic in nearly every single way. Although the AI on the normal career mode could have done with a bit more speed, if I'm honest. Oh, is it on the career? Sorry, no, the online. Sorry, no, the career mode they were fine. Sorry, on the highest difficulty. If you put them online, because you can only put them in standard cars, they were locked to that, and they didn't have much speed behind them. So, then we moved on to the next gen consoles and Forza 5. Oh dear. How the mighty had fallen. Forza 5 was just... certainly some people had their doubts coming in. There was certainly some things about driver tars, about just generally moving to next gen, the apparent lack of tracks that they'd announced so far, just the lack of overall stuff. And sure enough, when the game came out, those fears were answered. The driver tars were horrid, given the fact that on specifically Spa, my friend Alan P. Dragon, he is a very fast racer. He can be aggressive, but he's not a dirty racer. He doesn't like cut corners stupidly about 100 miles an hour, just stupid amounts of miles an hour around the slowest corners. However, I'll join that party later, Source End, if you watch this video. God damn it, man. Of all the time you could have sent me a party invite. Anyway, the driver tars weren't very good. They were inconsistent to race. They were far too aggressive, and it just didn't work. The handling model didn't make any better. It felt far too loose and far too heavy. It was a horrid combination. It didn't work. There were a fair selection of new cars because they started to branch out into other categories. They had Indy cars, Formula 1 cars. They just had some more different categories that they started opening up. But the lack of tracks meant that every single event of the career mode felt as though you were doing the same amount of the same races every single time in different cars, and it was horrid. I have no words for that. It was absolutely one of the most boring things I've ever done. Then Forza 6 came around. It was honest, the handling system has been sorted out. The handling system in this one, it's very, very good. Certainly. The driver tars have been improved, but I think there's still... We'd prefer an option of normal AI, and the selection of cars has increased even further, and the tracks had increased. Generally, there was just a bit more to it, so going by the laws of things, hopefully Forza 7 and 8 can be the big steps that really stand out on this next-gen console. The problem is, this is obviously 2015 now, which was when we had Forza 6 released. Next year, going by how things have gone, we're going to get Forza Horizon 3, and I'll move on to the Horizon series in a minute. And then the following year we get Forza 7, and so on and so forth. I'm just concerned that the Motorsport series, because of that downfall it had from 4 to 5, it just didn't have that consistent amount of goodness that I'd say Horizon has. There's 2. Yeah, so moving on to the Horizon series. Obviously, it was announced for 2012 that there would be a brand new Forza game going by the name of Horizon, and it would be based on a music festival in Colorado, in America. The game came out, a demo version was released first, I should say, and it split opinions because of the fact it had the Forza name and it had been linked to Motorsport before. Going to a music festival with all the slidey physics and the general lightness of the car, the way that every single car felt really agile, wanted to push itself into the corner, really divided people. On one side, you had people who would say that it helps because it means that because it doesn't mean there's one specific car that you can use and abuse because it's OP, because all the cars have an agile feel to them. So it just comes down to straight line speed. However, you also had those who think that it isn't true to the Forza name. However, I think this is because they wanted to try, and there's a message now, because they wanted to try something different. And I think the first one was good. It wasn't quite there. And then, of course, came along this beauty. Forza Horizon 2. This game was epic. It was absolutely fantastic. I think this was probably one of the best racing games of 2014. That being said, it didn't have much to compete with. It had F1 2014. Is that it? How many racing games were there in 2014? There was this. F1 2014. Which obviously wasn't even on the same generation of console. Let me just have a quick look. Oh, The Crew. There we go. That's the one, The Crew. Thank you. Thank you, Bookshelf. Yeah, The Crew was the other game. And on those two, F1 2014 was not on the same generation of console. So that was a kind of an already, it's out. And The Crew had a massive map, had some good graphics, but the events were repetitive, the handling system was iffy, and I don't know, trying to make a story out of a racing game is a bit of a push, if I'm honest. However, Horizon 2 got a nice balance. The handling was better, much better than the first Horizon, to the point where not every single car slid around, but you could still slide around with a lot of cars. It still felt agile, but it felt as though it was a lot more solid. So less arcadey as such. That's the best way to describe Horizon 1. Yeah, the graphics were astonishing. You can see, I'm just putting you through the screenshots here. I'm loading to the actual game in a minute. Just these look. These, I'm pretty sure these are all just from in-game screenshots. They look gorgeous. That McLaren one, that's a wallpaper right there. Take the loading thing out, and then the stats in the bottom left. Boom, wallpaper. Not that, maybe. Oh yeah. Oh, and of course the fact that you could do stupid things to cars, like this BRZ. My friend Boss OMG actually has supplied me with a tune for that. I'm not going to show that. And then of course it spawned into the smaller version of this, which was... Yeah, that's right. Which was the Fast and Furious... which was the Fast and Furious edition of Horizon 2. It's expanded into little mini gamers. Cars, you had to go get them, etc, etc. Based off the Horizon 2 game upwards, using cars from Fast and Furious 7. Then they did one last thing by introducing a car back, adding in even more cars from Fast and Furious. Okay. Now the overall point of this. The overall point is Motorsport has gone through 6 games and kind of... I don't want to... It feels almost though based on where they began, they kind of just sidestepped in a way. I know that obviously the generation switch may have hurt with that, but
top drivers is nearby. I've marked their position on your GPS if you want to challenge them.
thank you for interrupting me. But anyway, yeah, this Horizon 1 has switched to Horizon 2. That was a generation switch, and it got even better. So what is the excuse where you make 4 games and then your next one is worse? Then you make one game, that's what you had, just the one, and then the next one is so much better. The one thing surely this could mean now is that Horizon 3, which is coming next year, will be possibly one of the best Forza, and by a long shot. A load of people do say that this is the best Horizon. Do I agree? It's on par with Forza 4. That's what I will say. It's on par with, but it's not. I don't know. Forza 4 had a load of silliness that you could do that you can't do in Horizon 2. So I don't know, but Horizon 2, kind of each one both games have their respected fields. Motorsport 4 has a bit of ridiculousness with the way you could take off the grip, you could take off the power, you could get stupidly fast cars and smash around little F-class cars, little smart cars and stuff like that. But this game has its open world, the graphics, it had a little bit extra. And also Fast and Furious cars, but never mind. That's a little something. They're quite cool, although they are abused a little bit. But that's a story for another day. But yeah, so Motorsport. So to sum up, Forza Motorsports. They've been through 6 games. They've kind of sidestepped and maybe gone up. They went up, peaked, went down, went back up, and really they're back on level where they were. Horizon started high, got higher, and for the future, ooh, we're looking rather good. So yeah, thank you very much for watching this discussion. If you did like it, please leave a like, subscribe for more content. Maybe Forza content, probably it could be Forza content, could be GTA 5, it could be, anything. Whatever you want to see, leave it in the comments below. And also leave in the comments, what do you think of this? Do you think Horizon 2 is the best game? Do you think Motorsport 4 is the best game? Just which one do you think is the best game? And obviously, don't be biased just because you only have the one game. Fearless Coconut, I'm looking at you. And on that note, I will have to recommend that you check out his channel. He is a fantastic YouTuber, making just some small videos every now and then that have some great comedic value for the length that they are. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.